Concentrate in the class. Everyone there, concentrate in the class. Who is this? Jeremiah, are you there? Kaushik, I'll come back.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeremiah, listen. The previous chapter, digestion and absorption, is already uploaded. So you can go through it. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Digestion absorption is uploaded. Cockroach is uploaded. These two chapters are being uploaded in the file. And I think under the file, Sanika, where have you uploaded?
Ma'am, in the general channel.
General channel. So you can go through it and collect it and refer and
I have
answer the test.
uploaded it in 11th team Darwin batch.
Okay, you have uploaded. Okay, on the 11th Darwin batch. Is it clear? Okay, next.
Yes, ma'am.
Spasm means obstruction. Spasm is a collection of mucus. Obstruction. Is it clear? Somebody is asking me. Kaushik, right? It's difficulty in breathing. Sanika, you'll not be uploading the first chapter. I'll let you know when. Okay? Until without my notice, you're not going to upload. Okay, Sanika?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just digestion and cockroach. That's it. Next.
Okay, ma'am.
Breathing and exchange of gases. The next disorder we need to talk about pneumonia. Very, very important, my dear students. Who causes pneumonia is very important. Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Both are the cause for the pneumonia. Please text me if you have doubts. It is an acute infection, and here pneumonia is basically, see, pneumonia infects the innermost layer of the lungs. Into the lungs, the infection reaches to the lungs. Symptoms is coughing that may produce mucus, fever, sweating, chills, shortness of breath, chest pain. These all are the symptoms. See, it's very common to cold, but cold is only upper respiratory tract is infected. But whereas pneumonia, where lower respiratory tract, where your lung is getting infected, it's very important disorder. This needs to be taken care. A vaccine is available. Pneumococcal vaccine is available. Pneumonia, for the pneumonia, there's a vaccine which is available. But very important is it affects the lung. You should know they are filled with fluid or a liquid or a mucus. Fluid is basically the mucus. Is it clear? The the alveoli is blocked. In this here, the airway is blocked. Here in this, there is an airway which is blocked in asthma. But when it is come to an alveoli, here the alveoli, the gas of exchange site is blocked. It's a very what death causing disease. It can lead to a death if it's not taken care. Is it clear? Is it clear? If it's not taken, see, you know the blood vessels are here. The exchange will take place here. If it's not been taken care, then it might lead to a death also. You should not allow the infection to reach to the lungs. The causes is important. The causative agent is important. The symptoms are important. And where does it attack? That is also important. Done?
No, ma'am, wait.
Okay, write down. No worries. Take your time, understand, and then write down.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
What do you mean by sweating and chills?
Sweating means sometimes you feel very feverish. You start to sweat. Sometimes you feel very cold. You start to shiver. That is called chill.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
kind
Thank
of
you, ma'am.
fever. You get this kind of fever in the pneumonia.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? Yeah, done. So do let me know once you're done here. Then we can move to the next.
Done, ma'am.
Everybody done? All done? Any doubts? Any doubts to anyone there? Okay, let's move to the next. Next is very, very, very important. Many times this MCQ is asked in your medical exam paper. Disorders related to the respiratory system is emphysema. So what is emphysema? It is a reduction in the alveolar ventilation because of loss of elasticity and distension of alveolar sac and the bronchioles. Basically, it is seen in cigarette smoking. Means what? Here, the lungs are not filled with the mucus, but they are filled with the false gas, false air, which is a gas that is occupied. It is the alveoli is occupied with the gas or the air that is called, it's full of air, full of bad air. There should be an exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen, right? But this doesn't allow because this already is filled with this kind of gas. The damage, the alveoli is damaged. The alveoli is lost their, the loss of what? Elasticity is lost. Distension property is lost. Even after you try to exhale out, still the air is inside, which is not a good air which is present. It's a chronic disorder. It's a chronic disorder. Cigarette smoke is basically what? Toxic air, right? It's filled with smoke, basically. Is it clear, Sanika?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's filled with
So the air
smoke.
which is present there
Smoke.
is smoke.
Smoke. It's filled with smoke. So it doesn't allow the other air to come, and it has lost the property of elasticity, distensibility of the alveolar sac. And the very important question they'll ask you: cigarette smoking people have which kind of respiratory disorder? You should know it is emphysema. Emphysema means here the alveoli are filled with full of air. What? Full of air. Clear? Right now. If you don't understand anything in this, you can ask me. Very easy. Direct question for MCQ. They'll ask you for 2 marks in board. But so sensibility property means getting relaxed, elasticity. What is elasticity? It can, when the air gets inside, it can stretch themselves. When there is a air out during exhalation, it can come back to the normal position. That is called distension of alveolar sacs and the bronchiole. Yes, understanding? No, they have lost the property of elasticity, Sanika. Aditi, is it clear? Anam, Enrico Gomes. Chronic means chronic bronchitis. Chronic disease is which is causing chronic disorders. Acute and chronic. There is acute, initial. Chronic means initial disease. Acute means very large. Where bronchi is an acute infection, inflammation to the alveoli of the lung. There is a death. But here it is slow death, like it's a chronic disorder. Chronic bronchitis means it affects the bronchus, bronchitis or bronchioles. Any that is related, the disease that related to the chronic bronchitis. Bronchitis, the disease that are related to any kind of small damage that is happening to the bronchi will lead to this kind of disease, emphysema. Or the people who are suffering from light infection in the bronchites will lead to emphysema. The people who smokes, that leads to emphysema. Are you understanding? Rishikesh. Amal, are you understanding? Shifa, Soham. See, the alveolus have obviously go back. In this case, it has lost the property of elasticity. So you cannot accept it to work normal, has normal alveoli. Is it clear? Zara? I think it's Zara question. Yes, sir. Okay. Are you done with the writing? Can we move to the next? Ishan, Gaurav, Shusti, are you getting the point? Madhura, Vaibhavi. See, the person will not feel suffocated initially, but the person will not be able to. You have seen the smoke. Why the people say to stop smoking, cigarette smoking? The respiration system doesn't work as healthy as it works in the healthy person. Is it clear, Abhay? Don't unmute. Don't unmute. Text. Okay, next. I'm moving to the next slide. Very, very important. Many times these questions are asked. Write down. Occupational disorders. Such diseases are common in person who works in an environment where they are constantly exposed to harmful substances. The people who works in the factories, will come across this kind of occupational. The people who work in the cement factory, the people who work in the plastic factories, the people who work in the stone factories. So these are basically the people who working in the with the harmful substances such as gas, fumes, or dust, they come across this kind of occupational lung disorders. It is characterized by proliferation of fibrous connective tissue of the upper part of the lungs causing inflammation. You can see there is what happened. There is leading to a this small particles when it enters, it leads to the proliferation of fibrous particles. Yeah, he will be very prone to pneumonia also. If asthma, yes, asthma person also can have pneumonia, prone to pneumonia if he is not vaccinated. Write it down. Serious lung damage due to fibrosis of upper part of the lungs means fibrosis, connective tissue gets multiplied. So that's the reason occupational lung disorder comes into existence. But which are the two common examples for the occupational lung disease? Write down a very important: silicosis and asbestosis are the common examples, and common examples. Easy is example, and caused due to what? Continuous exposure to silica and asbestos dust.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell me.
What is a pleural mesothelioma?
Pleural.
It is given above the diagram.
Mesothelia means it's a layer of the tissue of the lungs, the thelial. Okay, the lungs is surrounded by a kind of a covering, pleural membrane, right? We have studied about the pleural membrane. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
There are different pleural, parietal pleural, visceral pleural. You know this, right? The covering of the lung is called pleural membrane, and that part is called plural mesothelium or thelema. It's same thing. In just other
Okay.
name for the covering of the lung. What is proliferation? Proliferation is dividing. Proliferation is dividing a bile. One, if there is one, it becomes two. Two will become three. You understand? Three will become four. That leads to, on the later stage, it leads to cancer. Proliferation, you just need to know important questions which I have marked. The cancer thing. Later proliferation will leads to cancer. We are not discussing about that. For your understanding, for your syllabus, you should know occupational lung disease are two common things: silicosis and abscessosis. They'll ask you. These two are occupational disorders or emphysema or any other. So you should know which are the two ones which are occupational disorders. And why do they happen? One is exposed to silica, other is exposed to abscessosis dust. That is also a fabric dust. A material, okay, basically.
Ma'am, what you wrote in red ink?
What I wrote in what?
Red ink.
What? Silicosis and abscessosis are the common example and cause due to continuous exposure to silica and abscessosis dust. Done? Asbestos dust. Is it done?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. You can just go through this. Important things that you should know. I have covered this. This slide you can just have a summary of the disease. This is the summary of the disease. You can just go through this.
Show the previous slide.
Previous slide. Okay, right now.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, what was the first respiratory disease which you started with?
Asthma.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Are you done with this slide? Breathing and exchange of gas?
You're done.
Okay, write down this slide.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in asbestosis, the asbestos dust occupies space in the alveoli.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
You can see emphysema, the smoke is occupied here.
Ma'am, could you please explain the sentence written below emphysema?
Emphysema. Alveolar burst and fuse into enlarged. See, there's, each single alveoli is something like this. Okay,
Ma'am, you have
they
to
are
write
matched.
this.
Yeah, Baba, what are you doing from the time? Watching it. So now this is an alveoli, but after fuse time, what happened? The alveoli will burst and fuse to become enlarged air spaces. Now what happened? It will become like this. Do you understanding? They'll fuse, and this space is occupied with full air, which is not a good air, which is a smoke.
Okay, ma'am.
Why is this single unit of alveoli is present? So that it increases the surface area for the gases exchange, right? So that
Yeah.
has this become a single unit, and that reduces the exchange of gas. That's the reason then the smokers, the chain smokers, will not be able to smoke healthy as the healthy person smokes it. I mean, smokes, no, breathe it.
Okay, ma'am.
Done? Everybody done?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in the pulmonary tuberculosis, in the spaces, it is the tubercles encapsulate bacteria, no?
Pulmonary tuberculosis. Yes, it is the alveoli encapsulated with the bacteria. Which
Okay,
bacteria?
ma'am.
Tuberculosis bacteria. Okay.
Yeah,
Plus
okay, ma'am.
tuberculosis. Done, everyone. Can we move next? Very simple. Any difficulties to anyone? Ma'am, this slide is to be written down. Who is asking me now whether to write it down? Hmm? Take a screenshot now. I cannot wait. Rishikesh, what are you doing all this time? Watching the slide? See, it's up to you, Yash, whether to refer or whether to write down. But these are the important points. If you can refer and if you can remember it, it's well and good. If you think that you need to revise it later, then you can write it down. That is what I said. So, Sanika, I've already sent the slide. So you can refer to that slide. Let's move. Yeah. This is again, you can see the mucus, same thing. Okay, there's nothing new in this. Okay, we are done with this chapter. This chapter is over. To be seen, see, just to be seen, no, like you have to understand what you need to if you refer, I mean to say, if you can refer and keep remember, that's well and good. If you think there's something extra that's been given which is important, you feel, you can copy this down. Is it clear? Okay, so with this we have completed this chapter. I'll give you 1 minute for everybody to revise this chapter. Okay, and some of them have queries about this. Let me explain that part. Okay, now yeah, this graph, many of them had a query about this graph. Yash, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now what happened is oxygen dissociation curve. Oxygen dissociation, hemoglobin, what happened to this? Yeah, hemoglobin bind to oxygen, 1, 2 and 3. Now tell me, where is the dissociation happen, whether in the tissue or the alveoli? Where is the dissociation happening of oxygen from the hemoglobin? It's in tissue or alveoli? Everybody, quickly. Rishikesh, yes,
Tish.
very good. It's in a tissue. Everybody agree with this, right? At the time of tissue, the graph will shift towards the right. Is this point clear? Where there is increase in partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the tissue. The graph will shift towards the right. Is this clear, Yash?
Ma'am, but when it shifts to the right side, it means that it has more affinity now.
Yes, when it releases this, it's less affinity, no? It's decrease in affinity, not more
Less,
affinity.
yeah, ma'am. So less affinity means it is full with oxygen, no, ma'am. It's occupied more with
Yes,
oxygen.
yes.
So how is oxygen dissociated from hemoglobin then?
Less affinity means oxygen is already occupied with the molecule. Hemoglobin is already occupied with the oxygen. 50%.
Yes,
See, this is P50. P50 means what? Oxygen is 50%, or sorry, hemoglobin is 50% saturated. Okay, this point is clear.
yes, ma'am.
Then same thing, when you talk about 50% in the left side of the graph, you mean oxygen is yet to saturated. At 20, it is yet to saturated to 50%. It is not 50% saturated. Yet to saturated to 50%. Right? So the affinity for the oxygen is more during that time because it is not completely occupied. The hemoglobin is just occupied, for example, only one side or one side. So it will have higher affinity. Here you have higher affinity. And where is the association of happening? The left graph indicates association. Where is this association happening? Hemoglobin associated with the oxygen where? Who will tell me? Hemoglobin associated with oxygen where? Quickly. Alveoli. Very good. It happens in alveoli, right? So the curve is left when it is in the alveoli. The curve will move to the right when it is in tissue. So when it is left, it is higher affinity because in the alveoli, obviously it should be higher affinity. The hemoglobin which is present in the alveoli should have higher affinity because the work of the hemoglobin in the alveoli is to bind to oxygen. Same hemoglobin, when it is at tissue level, it has to dissociate. The affinity is less at the tissue level, binding of oxygen. It's simple. Is anybody who have not still understood? Please go through this yesterday's notes, everyone, quickly.
Ma'am, could you please show us my slide?
Ma'am, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Asthma slide I'm showing. Yes. No, I'm here, Tanmay. Where do I go? Yeah. And remember, Bose effect is nothing but shift towards the left. The graph, yes, listen to this. Rishikesh, you can, Prabhadesa, you can copy the asthma slide. Then, yeah, Rishikesh and who is that? Yes, listen to this. Bose effect means graph left towards the right. Shift towards the right means dissociation. Shift towards the left, association. Dissociation happens in tissue. Association happens in alveoli. You know when is the association takes place? There is a decreased number of oxygen content. so higher decreased number of carbon dioxide content, so higher affinity to oxygen. Where dissociation takes place, increased number of carbon dioxide content, and so there is a dissociation of oxygen from the hemoglobin. As simple as that. Is it clear, Yash? Okay, he said he got it finally. Okay, now
Excuse
we
me,
are
ma'am.
done. Yes, Sanika, tell me.
When the curve shifts to right, it has reduced the affinity because already 3 are bound with hemoglobin, right?
It's already bound to hemoglobin, and also there's an increase of carbon dioxide level on the tissue.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Could you explain what exactly dead space volume? Yes, I'll explain. Listen to this. This is an alveoli. Around
Ma'am, what was the
500
slide before
ml.
this?
Can you see the slide? I don't
Ma'am,
consider if
before
the
this, what
500.
is that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please be louder. Please be louder. If you want to say something, please be louder or please text me. 500 ml of air is getting inside to the, has reached to the alveoli. After
And
reaching,
what was the slide before this?
nothing. Today we started with this slide.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Listen, one more important thing I can tell you. Human protein alpha 1 antitrypsin is used in the treatment for the, it's a treatment, spelling is wrong. Treatment for this emphysema. Write down, this is important question. I missed this. Yeah. Write down this point. Human protein alpha. I'll come back to the dead space volume. Write down this slide. Human protein alpha 1 and alpha 1 antitrypsin. They'll ask you this question. This is an MCQ question. This is an MCQ question. Okay. Okay, next. Let me show you. Just a minute.
Ma'am, could you go back to that slide?
See, listen to the what do you mean by dead space volume. If this is an alveoli, I hope you are able to see the slide. Alveoli. Yes, are you able to see the slide?
Ma'am, it's the alveoli structure slide, no?
Alveoli, yeah, alveolar structure slide. Can you all see alveolar structure slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happened? This alveoli is now around 500 ml is reaching to the alveoli here. But 150 ml is remaining in the ducts of alveoli. These all are ducts of alveoli. And only 350 ml is reaching to the alveoli. This volume which is not reaching to the alveoli, which is remaining in the duct of alveoli, is called dead space. Understood?
Ma'am, could you please repeat?
I said if 500 ml is to reach to the alveoli, now the air is moving inside. It has to go through the duct and then it has to reach to the alveoli. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Out of this 500, only 350 will reach to the alveoli, whereas 150 will remain in the duct itself. So only 350 ml goes for the exchange. 150 will remain in the duct itself. That is called dead space volume. Clear?
Okay, ma'am, yeah.
Okay, fine. Next. Asthma slide. Where is asthma slide? Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay.
that slide.
This. Abhay, I'll just copy this quickly.
Ma'am,
Hanji, tell me. Done?
so the
Okay, I'll check.
150 ml of air which is in the dead space is not utilized.
No, there is a that is called dead space only. Only 350 will help in exchange of gas.
Ma'am,
Okay,
what is that
but
after
the
used
total
in?
lung capacity,
Okay.
what is the total lung capacity? 6,000 ml, right? Total lung capacity. Sanika, can you please take a screenshot of this slide and upload? Anyone
Yes, ma'am.
can do that.
Ma'am, what is that after used in?
What?
After that, antrypsin is used in.
Treatment. I told you the spelling is wrong. It's used for the
Okay, ma'am.
treatment. Write down. I'm not able to. It's just a second. Done? Everybody done? Okay. We'll be seeing the slide. Okay, I'll be showing you one of the video here now. So I hope all the doubts are clear. We'll check the video and then we'll come back to this chapter again. Okay. Just a minute.
The respiratory system moves air through the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchus to the alveoli where the gas exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs. Nares are the openings to the nose. The nasal cavity is lined with cilia, mucous membranes, and blood capillaries. The air is filtered by cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by the blood. Air moves into the pharynx or throat, the common passageway for food and air. Air continues on to the larynx. The epiglottis, a flap of tissue in front of the larynx, closes off the larynx when swallowed to prevent food from entering. The larynx or voice box contains the vocal folds.
Ma'am, the screen is
The
frozen.
trachea or windpipe connects the larynx to the bronchial tree. The cartilage rings of the trachea prevent collapsing. Lungs are spongy tissue with alveoli and blood capillaries. Breathing begins the expansion and contraction of the lungs. The bronchi carry.
Is the screen frozen? Is it
Yes,
screen
ma'am.
frozen? Where?
Yes,
Where? For everyone? Is it for everyone?
It's only showing oxygen transport.
Okay, fine. Wait a minute. I'll just re-log in. Wait. Hold on. Okay. Wait. I'll re-log in. Okay. Just wait. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see now? Its screen is moving. The volume has not yet been added. The screen is moving.
The respiratory system moves air through the nose, pharynx, larynx,
No,
trachea,
ma'am.
and bronchus.
No?
The alveoli
No,
where
ma'am.
the gas exchange between
No.
You cannot see
oxygen
the screen?
and carbon dioxide occurs.
No, ma'am.
To the nose.
God.
The nasal
Ma'am, it's
No,
not moving.
ma'am.
cilia, mucous membranes, and
Why
blood
it's frozen?
capillaries. The air is filtered by cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by the blood. Air moves
Okay,
through the
listen,
pharynx or
listen.
throat,
Just
a common
listen.
passageway for food and air. Air continues on to the larynx. The epiglottis, a flap of tissue in front of the larynx, closes off the larynx to prevent food from entering.
Okay, Padma,
Larynx or
listen.
voice box
Listen to
contains
the content.
folds. The trachea or windpipe
I'll
connects
show you
the
again.
larynx
Just
to the
listen to
lung
the
and trachea.
content.
The cartilage
You all
rings in the
can hear
trachea
it, right?
prevent the trachea from collapsing.
Yes, ma'am.
Lungs are spongy tissue with alveoli and blood capillaries. Breathing occurs because of the expansion and contraction of the lungs.
Okay, let me check why. Just wait a minute. It was an important video. Let me check. Revise until then revise. Revise. Everybody is revising there. I'll be asking you questions now. Okay, no problem. Revise. I'll be asking you question in just a few minutes. Can you see the screen now? Screen is visible.
It's just frozen.
Still frozen. Okay, I don't know what is the issue. Okay, let me ask you
Yes, ma'am.
questions. So, everybody, I'm asking you a question now. Questions. Ready for the questions? Quiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The first question. What is the time taken for inhalation? Time taken for inhalation. Everybody will close your books. Everybody will close your books. Very good. Next. When is that internal intercostal muscles contract? When is that internal intercostal muscles contract? Very good. Force exhalation. Very nice. Next. Force exhalation is active or passive? Force exhalation is active or passive? Very nice. Next question. The epithelial cells of the alveoli is called dash. Epithelial cells of alveoli is dash. Very good. They are pneumocytes. I want each and everybody to participate there. Each and everybody will participate there. Now, the phagocytic cells of alveoli is called dash. Phagocytic cells of alveoli is called dash. Very good. Dust cells. Very nice. Pharynx muscles is present in dash. Pharynx muscles are present in dash. Can you all see the screen? Can you all see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, fine. So next, pharynx muscles is present in dash. Okay, done. No problem. Next. Next is what? Cardiac notch is present on the superior lobe or superior left lobe or inferior left lobe. Cardiac notch. Very good. It is superior lobe. Very good. Hemoglobin has dash iron atoms. Dash number of iron atoms. Hemoglobin has dash number of iron atoms. Four. Supra. Very good. Isha. Very good. Abai. Very good. Next. The normal breathing of inhalation and exhalation is dash volume. The normal inhalation and exhalation is dash volume. Very good. Tidal volume. Very good. The exchange of gas that happens due to simple diffusion is due to what pressure? It's due to what pressure? Very good. It's due to partial pressure. Next. The affinity towards the binding of oxygen to hemoglobin, affinity for binding of oxygen to hemoglobin happens in presence of high partial pressure of carbon dioxide or low partial pressure of carbon dioxide. The affinity of binding of oxygen to hemoglobin happens in presence of higher or lower partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Very good. It's lower. Very smart. Very nice. Next. Association of oxygen and a hemoglobin which occurs in the alveoli. No, sorry. It's not association. Listen to the question. Dissociation of oxygen from hemoglobin in body tissue is a Bose effect or Haldane's effects. Is a Bose effect or Haldane's effect? Very good. Bose effect. Bose effect takes place where? Alveoli or tissue? Bose effect is seen in alveoli or tissue. Bose effect, very good, Madhura. It's in tissue. And where is the Haldane effect seen? Haldane effect seen in Tissue. Very good. In carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which has higher affinity to hemoglobin? There is a carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, which has higher affinity to, very good, carbon monoxide. Very nice. I want each and everybody to answer that. Next. Transport of carbon dioxide in transport of carbon dioxide is mostly taken by which, most of the carbon dioxide is transported by or transported as what? Bicarbonates. Very nice. Next. What is opposite to Bose effect? Which effect, Hamburg phenomena, or which effect is opposite to Bose effect? Which effect is opposite to Bose effect? Very good, Sakshi. Amod. Yes, very good. Next question. Next question. The removal of one bicarbonate from the RBC is taken in by which ion? Is exchanged by which ion? Call? What is that? Okay, done. Next. Smoking leads to dash disorder. Smoking leads to dash respiratory disorder. What's happening there? Smoking leads to dash disorder. Shifa, not pneumonia. It's emphysema. It's emphysema. Very nice. Dash is the main respiratory center that is present in dash part of brain. Very good. It's medulla oblongata. Respiratory center is present in medulla oblongata. Very good. Who regulates the medulla oblongata? Who regulates the medulla oblongata? Done? Very nice. Okay, we are done with this chapter. I hope each and everybody and each and everyone is clear with the doubts. I'm hoping that nobody has any doubts. It's still, if you have doubts, you can get back to me. But with your response, I'm feeling that the chapter is well done and you have cleared your doubts completely. Everything is clear? Do I have permission to move to the next chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So still it's frozen, right? I'll get back. Let me start with the new. Let me try. Okay, I'll re-log in and we'll start with the new chapter. Which chapter do you all want? Biomolecules. I'll be back. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the video? Tell me now, okay? Just video.
Yes, we can see.
You can see? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wait, okay?
The respiratory system moves air through the nose, pharynx.
Can you hear it now?
Trachea and
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, listen.
it occurs. Nares are the openings to the nose. The nasal cavity is lined with cilia, mucous membranes, and blood capillaries. The air is filtered by cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by the blood. Air moves into the pharynx or throat, the common passageway for food and air. Air continues on to the larynx. The epiglottis, a flap of tissue in front of the larynx, closes off the larynx when swallowed to prevent food from entering. The larynx, or voice box, contains the vocal folds. The trachea, or windpipe, connects the larynx to the bronchial tree. The cartilage rings of the trachea prevent the trachea from collapsing. Lungs are spongy tissue with alveoli and blood capillaries. Breathing occurs because of the expansion and contraction of the lungs. The bronchi carrying the air subdivide into smaller branches called bronchioles. At the end of each bronchiole are the alveolar sacs. The alveolar sacs are surrounded by blood capillaries and contain millions of single-layer alveoli cells where the gas exchange takes place. Oxygenated air goes from the nose to the pharynx, trachea, bronchus, and alveoli. By the process of diffusion, oxygen in the air moves from the alveoli.
Yes, cannot see?
Carbon dioxide moves from the capillaries to the
Ma'am,
alveoli.
the video is not playing.
This process is called respiration.
Oh God. Okay, let me see how I can help it in the next class. Okay.
Expiration. The pressure in the lungs is decreased and the air rushes in. The muscles of the diaphragm contract to make it descend. The rib cage moves upwards and outwards.
It's not moving after 0.13. I think our network is not supporting today. The screen is
Ma'am,
frozen.
it's just
Okay.
showing the first picture of a person.
Okay, fine. Let me check in the next class. Okay. So, any doubts for today's class? Tell me. Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Can we begin with the next chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do you want to? No, ma'am. Why? Why, Yash? Why, Prabhu Desai? Hmm?
Ma'am, just no doubts, no, that's what.
No doubts. Okay. I thought you don't want me to start the next chapter. Hmm? Okay. Okay. So, anything that you would like to discuss or say something that if you want to have anything that you want to share, you can share. Or if you want to know how to anything which is related to subject wise, you can ask me questions before I start the new chapter. Any doubts? Anything? Okay, are you all reading the
Excuse me,
NCRT book?
ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
The PDF of digestion and absorption which I had uploaded in the Darwin batch now. From our batch also some of them want it. So should I upload it here?
Yeah, upload it. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
So digestion and absorption, we are giving you notes. I want each and everybody to get good scoring. Is it clear? I need you all to score good. Is it clear in this upcoming test? Yes, everyone. Okay, fine. So, are you all reading NCRT book? My question was this. So, we have finished how many chapters by now? We have finished one connection. We have finished. Okay. First, today's homework for you all. What is today's homework? You will read NCRT book, digestion and absorption, and you people are going to make summary of it. Is this clear? Okay, Dan?
Yes, ma'am.
You are going to write a summary of it, of digestion and absorption, only from the NCRT book. You will read the chapter, you will understand the chapter. If you don't understand, you'll refer to the notes, but you're going to make a summary and you're going to send me. I want to see how you people make a summary of digestion and absorption. So you're going to mail me. Do not WhatsApp me, but you can mail me. Clear? Do you have
Ma'am,
my
how to
email
send
ID?
it to you?
You do not have my email ID, right? Okay, I'll text. Can you all see the screen?
It's
Yes.
frozen.
It's frozen.
Frozen? Where?
It's still showing that video.
Okay, email ID. Yes, I'll send you. In the chat box, I'm sending the ID. The summaries should be here, okay? Or you can send it to my email ID, or you can upload in Teams. Is it clear? But better you send it through email. Okay, whichever. Okay, whichever.
Can you repeat?
What should we send? Summary of digestion and absorption from NCRT book. Clear? Everybody? Okay. So you'll do this and get, I think we'll start the class from the next class about the biomolecules. Okay. So when are your exams?
5th.
Ma'am, 5th
Fifth.
October.
5th of
Next month.
Okay. The chapters, any chapters been told to you all? I hope I have done all the chapters that are required for the exam. Biomolecules will start in this upcoming, and then we are left with blood and circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system, then chemical coordination. Yeah?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Any idea when the exams of the Stellar Higher Secondary School will be there?
I don't know. Admin will be better to tell you this.
Okay.
You don't get this information. So anything related to exam test, you call admin and they will respond to you. Okay?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So no doubts, right, for today's class? If there are no doubts, I'm giving you 10 minutes extra to read that summary and start writing the summary. Okay? We'll start the new chapter from the next class. So how did you all felt the quiz? You all able to answer well? You all were able to answer well about the quiz? Yes. Okay, done. So see you all in the next class. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.